And welcome back, everyone, for Week 7, Part 2. Ty, you are in the entryway, having looked for your squad. The communications in this part of the ship have been blocked, so you've had to manually come down here. And you're a little frustrated because Teal isn't responding. He's not even in his room. He's nowhere to be found on the ship.
As I look, try to get in contact with Teal, I'm just cursing about him being a blue bastard and how much I fucking hate that guy. But as I come to the doorway, I see...
Yeah, you see the three of them, and then Tony goes, "We should lower our voices. He's here."
Well, I think that kind of... All right, cheers. Tony. Good. Yeah, sure. Anyways, Ty, just 1 second. So I found this piece of data here, and he gives it to Skurb. As soon as you encrypt it, just send the file, or just de-encrypt it. Send the file to me. I don't know what's on it, but
why?
It's
so I
important.
can break the ship like I broke the city in Felucia? I'm like sad.
Like, okay, listen, you need to stop being a pussy. You're fine. You fucked up a little bit. That's okay.
Hey, man. Hey. And then I'm just gonna stop talking. Like, I'm just gonna...
Okay.
Well,
you fucked up a little bit. That's okay.
I do not understand this emotional torment that you go through. I understand that you were broken because you broke your slicer kit, and now you have your slicer kit repaired, but you are still acting broken.
I'm just gonna give Ty a really over-exaggerated traditional imperial salute as he walks in, to the room.
Okay.
I will give him the new salute for the First Order in return.
Oh.
So sassy, both of you. Just, ugh. Get a room.
I'm just gonna wiggle my cheek flaps.
Yeah. Ty, you do notice that Maru does look very, very good.
I'll walk up to him and do like a quick up and down on him and be like, "Uniform suits you."
Thank you, sir. Sir Ty. Bro.
You can still call me Ty.
Okay, cool. That's better for me. What's up? What do you need?
The execution of the Moth is happening soon, and we need to get down there and be present.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I knew you'd enjoy it.
Like, yeah. It's,
I'm gonna set his encrypted data thing just on a desk. I'll get to it later.
Let's get to it, gentlemen.
Okay, I'm gonna stroll out and follow Ty out.
So while I'm following them, I'm just like, so do your guys' balls always have to be this scrunched up when you're wearing uniforms? Because I've never had my balls this close to my body.
Is it a good thing to have balls scrunched up? Tony says as he's following you.
I don't really know the reproductive system of a Solistan, so I'm not sure if that's applicable or not. Do I lay eggs?
Tony turns towards Skurb. "It is okay. You will lose your virginity as soon as you find that one good girl that cares about you." No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's just say that Tony's asking if it's a good thing or not to feel that way.
I'm just gonna... Some things never change, and I'm just gonna, like, keep going.
Yeah. And you guys are taken down by shuttle. Again, no Teal. The shuttle didn't even wait for him. It was almost like the shuttle captain was like, 1, 2, 3. All right, get on board. We got our load. It's almost as if Teal wasn't summoned.
I look over at Atari and I go, Where's Teal?
Where's Tail? Sorry, this suit, you know.
Sergeant!
I'll just kind of look forward and be like, probably was assigned to something else. Don't worry.
That's kind of weird. He was part of this.
I'm just gonna mutter under my breath. Probably got away when he could.
What?
No.
What was that, good buddy?
I'm just gonna give him a thumbs up and just go back to looking down.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Tony
Just
looks
riding
over.
in the elevator.
I do believe he said that he probably got away when he could.
Oh, why would he do that?
I assume by your vernacular, you are suggesting that Tail did not want to be part of this group.
That's
that-
ridiculous.
Is that correct, Skurb?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be like, no, not exactly, Tony. I just, part of all this. I'm gonna point to their new, fancy uniforms and all the pomp and circumstance and ceremony that's going on.
I understand now. You need post-traumatic counseling. I will leave you be. And he goes and starts walking back towards the intelligence room, kind of backing away.
Maru
Look to see if there's anything left in the bottle that I was drinking out of.
Maru
it's been
very
empty for some
gently
time.
hugs Skurb, like not like the rough hug like before, and he goes like, "Don't worry, buddy, it's gonna be okay."
Okay.
The shuttle captain is like, "Are you ready to depart, sir?" And he looks back through Skurb and Maru and at Ty.
Yes, take us down.
You guys fly out of the warhead chaser, and below you there's a parade and confetti being thrown and music being played. Flashes of camera equipment throughout the crowd as people take holovids are seen, and the shuttle flies overhead. And in the middle of the plaza, you see what looks like a wood archway built over a wooden platform.
Old school.
Can I just
okay.
look back at the ship like I'm never gonna see it again? Just kind of like, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting repaired. There's a few, like, drones pulling parts up and they're welding in the outside, replacing some of the hull plating. Tarkin's droids. So, yeah, the shuttle comes down through the plaza and lands in a designated area where there are a bunch of these new-looking white stormtroopers that Tarkin has. And they're you would think they were there to keep the crowd back, but the crowd isn't angry. The crowd is waiting anxiously. They're even ignoring the parade. They're looking for somebody. And then the shuttle lands and everybody turns towards you and they start, like, there are tons of lights from cameras being shown on this shuttle. And the shuttle lands. Captain goes, "All right, we're here."
Where is here?
I'm gonna try desperately to find a place to put the. Stick it somewhere in the thing.
Maru does his best to like straighten himself up and look proper for like the first time in his life.
I think I'll help him.
He's never been public before.
Yeah, you kind of grab his shirt and tug it down in just the right spot. That helps him stand straight, but it also doesn't feel like there's a bunch of cloth bunching up. It seems to actually help a little bit.
I go, "I'm nervous. This is like the first time I literally got exploded and I wasn't nervous. Why am I nervous?"
I don't like any of this exposure, buddy. I'm just gonna pat him comfortably.
That feels nice. A little lower.
The ramp goes and lowers.
Gotta love the slow ramp, man. Like,
And there's
Gentlemen,
a hushed
just
whisper
follow me.
outside.
Yes, sir. And I march diligently behind Tyro.
And just like every Imperial scene in every Star Wars movie, you see black leather boots down the ramp, and then the white pants, and then the black uniform with the gray trim of Ambassador Ty, followed by Maru. And Skurb, are you wearing your formals?
Nope. Nobody gave me any.
Yeah. So, Skurb, you just come down in your normal combat gear.
I'm surprised I have pants on.
I am too. And people stop looking at you guys immediately, and you almost hear the sound of disappointment rouse about the crowd.
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna be like, hey, how you doing? Hi.
Well, you do
How you
get like I'd say probably 10% of the crowd's like, you saved our lives. You know, we would be nowhere without you. But the others are looking for someone else.
The Maru would give the ones who are giving the encouraging statements a generous helping of Wookiee roar.
I'm gonna do some action.
They're like, yeah, maybe the ones aren't so distracted anymore, and they like start clapping once they realize who you are. Oh yeah, the only Wookiee on Felucia. Oh my god, I forgot. And and yeah, you guys come walking down the ramp, and you see that you're supposed to walk up. And there's seats positioned for all of the heads of office, but there is no spot for, or there's an empty chair where Ty's wife should be seating. And it's sitting next to Tarkin. And Tarkin sees you through the crowd, Ty, and then taps the empty chair next to him.
And I will take it.
Yeah, the Skurb and Maru, you guys are standing there with all like the best friends of the important people. I believe the term for that is sidekicks.
Wow. Fuck you, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodyguards there, and they're all like mean mugging everybody. Every bodyguard's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna protect my guy harder than you're gonna protect your guy.
Maru isn't even like competing. He's just like, hi guys.
Nope.
And they're actually the most intimidated by you. They're like, oh my god. He must have a brawn of 6. Yeah, this one time I saw a Wookiee with the brawn of 3. We kicked his ass.
By my
I could
assessment,
never intimidate somebody though. It's so sad.
I know, you're like,
yeah.
it would be like if The Rock had to talk like Stephen Hawking. He's like, I am going to beat you down. And you're just like,
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? It's stir-fried rice with a side of eggs.
Alright.
So, as Ty gets to the chair and sits down in his wife's seat, and he actually sees the scratches on the curve of the handles where she tends to run her middle finger nervously while she's watching these things.
I'll just kind of feel that spot with my finger.
Yeah, you feel the spot with your finger, and it almost feels like it's a letter.
Like she wrote something? I'm gonna run my finger slowly across it, try to decipher it, I guess.
Yeah, you're kind of running your finger, and as you're reading it and you think you're starting to make sense of it, Tarkin grabs your arm. He does that friendly, like, his arm over here on the opposite side of him, and he's leaning in and grabbing your arm that's closest to him for a whisper. We can achieve great things, Ambassador Flynn.
Yes, we can, sir. Now I'll just kind of look forward and
He
kind
smiles. I've received word.
of, sir?
One of the people who confiscated the plans for something I am working on. They fled the Paradise Station, and I could not find them there. I found them. One of our spies has reported back. And then he's kind of like waving. He goes back to waving at the crowd, and then slides a data pad over to you.
Hey, quiet up front.
I'll kind of, inconspicuously look at it and...
Well, you don't have to. Like, a lot of the ambassadors, they're not sitting there, like, waiting. Like, they've got people to manage. So... If any,
Okay,
the only
well,
people who would notice you're looking at a data pad is if Skurb and Maru were still watching you, and they're like, "What the fuck are they doing?" You know.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Maru is soaking everything up. He's just waving to the people. He knows most of it's not for him, but he's internalizing it as he's a hero, and he's just like, yeah.
Actually,
That's right.
as you walk through a lot of the bodyguards, which are Marines in the Imperial Navy, a few of them pull out their pins. They're given like little survival pins, and they're giving it to you. And that's a sign of mad respect from the Special Forces. It's like something you get to keep all of their pins, and, you know, it's like saying cheers.
Maru has them in his hands, and he's openly got tears. This is the first sign of respect he's received from people who weren't Crate Fang, and he's just like, ah.
The end of his nose looks shiny.
Thank you. And he immediately starts pinning all of these on, and he's just like, "Today's a good day."
I think Skurb would be very interested in the interactions between Tarkin and Ty.
Yeah, you're like, that's nice, dude.
Good job. Yeah.
Ty, you were watching a video, and this woman comes on the screen, and she has a shaved head on this half of her head with tattooed markings and almost a curvature to her nose. And she looks around. All you need to know is that I am one of the Valkyries from the Madame's place in the Undercity. She looks around again. I understand one of your contacts came here a few months ago and we kicked him out and said that we knew nothing, but I think we know something now. There's someone here of great importance from the Resistance, a Kyle Katarn. He's visiting a ship that's under maintenance called the Dragon's Ire. Currently it is captained by a Sirius Stellargold, who is a former Jedi. I'm beginning to think that this is possibly the reconstruction of the Jedi Order. You guys had come along a few weeks ago asking if anybody's seen anything, and after seeing the propaganda that you guys displayed at the racetrack, I thought I would report it. Do not bother messaging back. I will contact you if I feel like it. Click, and she turns it off.
This is reliable.
Yes, quite reliable.
It came from Tarkin himself.
I don't care. I need to know.
The Madame prides herself on secrecy. We haven't been able to break the circle for 20 years. The fact that this person who's been absolutely loyal to her, she's reaching out to us for a reason. She has no reason to bait us. We have released a string of propaganda. My partner is working on something as we speak.
What do you need Crate Squadron to do?
Well, that's just it. Consider this a token of interest. Not really something we should act upon yet. He kind of thoughtfully looks towards the ground. I don't like acting without intelligence. But I feel you should know that's where my interest is going.
Of course.
I've decided to do this the old-fashioned way. He motions ahead, and you realize that the wooden structure that's built is a gallows, and there's a rope being dangled in front of it with a noose. And Maru, I need you to roll a discipline against 3 purple.
Oh dear God, that's the thing I'm bad at.
Yep.
Oh no. Could I roll an athletics check, perhaps? Maybe. 3 purple.
Since I was patting him and keeping him comforted, wouldn't that do anything for him, or? I don't know
why don't you roll a perception versus 3 purple and a setback because you're trying to focus on another conversation.
That's what I'm bad at.
He's like, cool, twofer.
So do I roll, or am I waiting for him?
We're gonna wait for him, and
Thanks,
we're gonna
man.
see if maybe he can help you. If he rolls a bunch of
And
successes,
you
I'll
said
lower the
setback
difficulty.
as well.
Yes, because you're paying attention to another conversation.
Very well then.
So there's an advantage there, which means that he's able to do something for
I'm
me.
the best.
Okay.
I'm the best ever.
The advantage is that...
I'm just touching somebody else by now.
The advantage is that while you're focusing on Tarkin and Tai, you get the word Coruscant mouthed out. And you're like nodding your head and you're petting. And meanwhile, this plastic card is bent in Maru's hands as he's just like, roll your discipline check against 3 purple.
The plastic card's on the ship.
No, I'm just saying the plastic card that you have for the event.
Well, no, I left it with
no, not that.
No, that.
These are just
like an event flyer.
Right.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Oh shit! Well,
wait, what?
Damn it!
It's just
With the force die.
yeah, it
The
happens.
threat is that your mood goes from extremely happy to horribly sad. As you remember, it was just the day before when you were in the medical ward and you had your vision and you saw Wookiees hanging from the trees of Kashyyyk and the Trandoshans filleting them alive.
Maru's hand like
take a strain.
slows down. I did.
Yeah.
Maru's like. I look over to Tarkin. Is he talking to Tai at this exact moment?
No, he's staring right at you.
Tai's
Ty's looking at a data pad, and Tarkin has you dead, locked gaze.
I look over to over to Tarkin and I say,
No, he's far away. He won't be able to hear you. He's on the other side of the courtyard, but that's what makes it even weirder.
"Wait, aren't we next to Tai?"
No,
He was
you're
just talking
standing.
to Tai.
You're standing with the sidekicks.
We got shuffled off in the back.
He's sitting in like these bleachers. Like Ty's at a like really nice chair for the ambassadors. This is where all the important people are sitting, and you guys are off to the sides like band security.
I'm going to confidently stroll up to him and like I'm going to tell him something important. And I whisper into his ear, Commander, Grand Moff Tarkin, could I speak to you after this event?
After this event, definitely. The show's about to begin. Maru, you want to see this.
Thank you, sir.
And the executioner, as you're walking back, you see the executioner come out of a doorway and the crowd goes wild and this Trandoshan steps out with a black robe and he's enticing the crowds, cheering him, and all the humans are like, yeah! And then he goes, judgment will be had for Felucia! I am Cobra Commander!
Just this look of utter disdain crosses Maru's face. And it's like, God, damn.
Dead. I'm dead.
Do you look back towards Tarkin?
No, I'm focused on the Transdoshan at this point. My rage and fury is now emanating out of me like a hot ball of lead.
The Trandoshan looks at you and his eyes flare and he goes, get back where you belong. The show's about to begin. And he motions towards where all the bodyguards are standing.
I very slowly, very clearly, defiantly, but complyingly walk back, staring at him the entire time.
And he's like, now we put to death the traitors of the First Order. And he motions towards the door. And the door opens, and there's two forms that are sitting on a wagon, handcuffed. And it's like, and the cart's being pulled up.
who's on the cart?
Did you ask Tarkin?
Yes, because I know the Moff's supposed to be executed, but I'm wondering who the second individual is.
It's the Moff. And he looks forward.
Who's the second individual?
Oh, I think we all know who it is.
And I'm going to concentrate on seeing who it is.
All right, so the cart pulls up, and the crowd comes out, and they grab the two men from the cart, pulled them forward, and Tarkin says, "Oh, I have to go. This is my line. Will you hold this for me?" And he hands you a pamphlet.
I take it and quickly look at it.
Yeah, join the execution of father and son, betrayers to the Empire, and it goes on an advertising spree about how he's going to put their entire family down.
Okay, right when that happens, I'm going to quickly try to grab his arm and pull him close as I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah, he stops and leans in. Yes?
What the hell are you doing?
Justice.
Foreign helped us. He's the one who kept this planet safe.
That is why he's going to actually have a mercy.
He shouldn't have a mercy. He should be Moff of this territory.
He should be, but not without any suffering.
He saved my life in that factory.
Yes, he did. The only good thing he's done so far. Trust me, I'm sure someone a little more professional with a little more experience, they would agree with me. Where is Teal? He was supposed to be here.
I'm just gonna kind of let go of his arm and just stare at him like I wanna do something.
Tarkin goes, "Don't worry, Ty. You'll have plenty of time to right the wrongs of the Empire, but unfortunately, I have to make a statement. You'll understand, with that ambassadorship comes different responsibilities."
I'm just gonna kind of sit down.
So, are Ty and not Ty? Is Skurb and Maru seeing this?
Yeah,
We're just seeing them grab. We can't hear what they're saying or anything.
And
No,
it
no,
looks
no.
like
I mean, seeing the sun.
no, Maru, you just see. Oh, well, your pamphlet is crinkled up, but you could probably look at it if you want.
I mean, I would have read the pamphlet already.
I think maybe in your distraction you didn't, because they started immediately handing you pins.
That's fair. That's fair. So I look down at the pamphlet now, realizing that there's two people on the chopping block.
Yeah, you're like, what?
And I was only expecting them off.
And you uncrinkle it, and your plastic card's broken, so it's flickering. You'll have to procure a new one.
And I
Yeah,
see the...
You do see Skurb staring at Tarkin intently, and he's got his pamphlet in his hand.
I go, I can't read mine anymore. What's it say?
I'm going to break concentration. I'm going to read the pamphlet.
Yep, father and son. They changed it.
Father and son?
Wait, what?
I'm going to queue up Comlink, sir.
Yeah, you can
Commander
hear it.
Ty.
Your comlinks can supersede anything.
Yeah,
Are you watching this?
Unfortunately.
I put on the comment. This is bullshit, Ty. This is bullshit. I wanted that kid dead first, but like I don't want that anymore. He's not really gonna kill him, is he?
So Tarkin goes up to the gallows and sits in a chair that's to the side of it. And someone from the Moff's office steps forward, not dressed in the Moff's uniform, but you have seen this person roaming in and out of the office. In fact, it was an officer that you guys managed to save. And he sits down in the chair next to Tarkin. And Tarkin just kind of gently squeezes his leg like, yeah, let's do this. And he whispers something to Tarkin, stands up, and then steps forward. All of you, merchants, legal faculties, We carried a vote last night in the emergency city meeting. We've all judged and heard the points that we're bringing forth. And for those of you lowborn that had no place in the council, we do have the transcripts up on the HoloNet, and it's offering to allow... It's asking you, do you want us to download this to your datapad? Insert the plastic card.
Maru's trying to shove the plastic card in, but it's like broken and
Yeah.
Tango is like, God damn it!
Yeah, everybody's just kind of like inserting it.
Yeah, I'll hand mine to Maru.
And Maru shoves it in.
And he goes, I am pleased to say that after much deliberation, I've announced that our former Moff will be put to the death, along with his treacherous son. We will list the crimes during a procedure, and we will put them down.
I don't like this.
He then turns towards the executioner, a Trandoshan, who takes an oily bow and brings the two men up, and then puts a noose around them. And when the hoods get pulled off, the boy's father is terrified. He's like looking around, pleading for some sort of aid, some sort of help. And he's got his mouth gagged, and he realizes that nobody will help him, and you kind of see grief streak his face as the noose is tightened. Meanwhile, Theron is just standing there, looking right at Ty. But he's not fighting. But he's upset. You know what I mean? He'll shrug the executioner off, but he's keeping it cool. He's not losing his shit. Dignity.
It's very dignified.
It's very important to him to die for the cause.
This isn't right, sir.
And that's when you hear, what the hell? And Tarkin stands up. Continue.
I'm going to stand up, but as I see Tarkin get up, I'm going to follow his gaze to whatever he's looking at.
He's looking at the man speaking. You what? We held the vote. The one you recommended. And we decided that both the Moff and his son would be executed for treason. And Tarkin steps forward and looks at the crowd incredulously. You want to execute this man who sacrificed everything, his life, his well-being, his training, to protect you people.
When he says that, Maru goes, he was a hero!
He was a hero, Tarkin says. I realize something now. And he looks down to the ground. Democracy cannot exist like this. What you're doing, this is not justice. This is an angry mob being childish. And if you want to act like a child, then it's proper you need someone to put you in your place. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small round device.
He's holding a thermal detonator.
He looks
Put him
over.
down! No.
He looks over toward the man who represents the town council, who looks shocked, almost betrayed. I want nothing to do with Felucia. You could take your medal back. And he throws this, it's kind of like the city, the keys to the city, but he throws this little orb of Felucia down that allows him to get into certain areas. In fact, I don't think there's going to be a place for you in a noble empire. You still behave like the old one. And he whips a pistol out from his hilt and just shoots the guy right in the head. Blam! Right in the middle of everybody.
I'm gonna draw my pistol.
The man drops dead, and all of the Felucia like city and like leaders and the merchants are like, "Oh my god!" And he looks around.
Yeah.
This insolence, this injustice will not be tolerated.
Is there a panic starting?
That's what I'm worried about. Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay.
No, the
Then I'm
people
gonna
are
slowly-
like, the people like the Moff. They've seen the Moff in the city. He doesn't rule from a palace. When his dad was in control, he was kicked out a lot. You know, he didn't spend his days in there. He is the one who put together the defense of the town. He's the one who assembled the Panthers, the general's strike team.
Maru yells out, "The boy Moff should be medaled."
He should be more than meddled. He should be made the Moff.
Yeah!
I'm assigning him the position of Moff. And I am not going to expect him to finish any of the normal courses and regulations. We'll call the experience earned. And the crowd just goes crazy.
Yeah, Maru lets out a loud Wookiee roar.
I'm gonna slowly put my pistol down and be like, "Holy shit, sir!"
So he goes over there
That
and
didn't go the way I
personally whips
expected.
out a pocket knife and cuts the ropes on the Moff's son's wrists, who looks like he's so relieved that he's starting to tear up. He is, after all, just a boy. And he stands firm and goes to salute. And Tarkin goes to salute as well, but then pauses and looks at the crowd over all of you. And he extends a hand for a handshake. The Moff shakes his hand, and then he grabs him off shoulder and brings him in for, like, a bro hug. Like, very professional. And then releases him and smiles to the crowd. And he's shaking his hand and looking at the cameras while Tarkin's looking at all the cameras while he's shaking this kid's hand. And then Tarkin says, "But wait! There's still someone to hang." And a couple of stormtroopers
start the slow clap.
Kill the former Moff!
A couple of the stormtroopers run up and grab the executioner. What is the meaning of this? And they wrap a rope around his neck. And he says, "A civilized government
Maru just
will
starts
have
losing it. Yeah!
a civilized government will have no further need for these people." And with a kick of the button, the Moff's
like
son
robots.
hits a lever, and the original Moff and the Trandoshan go down. And
Maru's doing everything but dancing at this point.
you see the Moff is actually incredibly strong, and he's pulling the ropes away from his neck, and he's using some weird balancing trick where he's lifting up his legs, and he's like, "Fuck you, Tarkin." And as soon as he says that, his son looks at him, spits on his head, jumps down through the hole, grabs his dad's legs, and just puts all his body weight under, and you guys hear a sickening echo throughout
Savage.
the courtyard. The crowd
Maru
is
starts
stunned.
beating his chest.
You go, and all of a sudden you see it's catching on. Like, all of the people in Felucia are looking at the young Moff like,
Yes!
and it's getting fucking thunderous, and it's
I'm
almost
gonna-
like you guys are having a hard time fighting it.
I'm gonna do one of those 360 like you know when the camera spins around way
Yeah.
and it just shows all the crowd and they're all doing it. I'm actually kind of disgusted by the shadiness that just occurred, but I mean justice was done, so I am happy about that. As you know, Skurb.
Meanwhile, Tarkin's looking directly at Maru, and then looks over to the corpse of the Trandoshan, and then grins a little bit, and turns back towards the ambassadors.
Maru would return the grin if he noticed, while still thumping, keeping the crowd,
Yeah.
going.
The crowd thumps for like 10 minutes after all the ambassadors and Tarkin leave, and then disperses.
That was a good execution, guys.
Yeah, nobody's like cleaning up the bodies. They're just gonna let them sit there too.
Oh. In that case, after everybody leaves, I'm going to go over to the Trandoshan body and just punch him in the face.
I was gonna ask if I can loot him.
The Trandoshan or the...
Both of them.
Now, I'm taking the Trandoshan shit.
Yeah, you go up to the Moff and you loot him. He's already had everything,
I just want to
like,
get
completely...
Oh, okay. So he
Go for
doesn't
it.
have his rank pips or anything
Nope.
like that.
They're not going to hang
Oh.
him in his rank pips.
Ah,
He doesn't
never mind
deserve
then.
uniform. Uniform was an honor given to soldiers of good office, which is why the Moff's son
Which is why
was wearing his.
Skurb doesn't have one.
Is Farron still there?
Yeah, he hasn't left. He's staring at the body of his father.
After I'm done punching the Trandoshan in the face, I look over to him and I go, "It was an honor to serve you, sir."
Can you help me with something?
Of course.
Can you cut down my father?
Yes. And I do it without question. I don't cut it down, but I loosen the rope enough that his father falls out. I don't let the body hit the floor either. I cradle his father and I go, "Where would you like this?"
You know, if this were a video game, it would be like, Farron will remember this. You know? So,
relationship options available.
The Sims, like 3+ signs, and then he goes and takes you and has woohoo. No, so he basically places a hand on his father's forehead, despite the evil man he became. He was my father, and I have many fond memories.
I'm sure there was a time when he wasn't like this.
Before
when he was
my
a good
mother
and
got
just...
sick.
Indeed. Where would you like him?
Let's take him to the palace. We need to bury him with the others.
Yes, sir. And I very respectfully carry his father's body. At one point, if I'm able to, I take one of the pins that the other soldiers gave me, and I put it on to whatever he's wearing. And I look over to Farron and I go, I'm sorry that I was so disrespectful at the beginning of our relationship.
That's fine, Maru. I need you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
I need you to get the fuck off of Felucia.
I need you to eat my father.
He goes, I don't think we were staying for very long anyway, and I can definitely do that.
Good. I like you. Other people don't.
That's fair.
Baby steps, I suppose.
And he goes, before the only people who liked me were Crate Squadron, and today there was a few people who didn't spit on me when I walked in.
Well, I appreciate everything you did. I mean,
thank you, sir.
Especially since how my father got Felucia. He used to be the Moth of Kashyyyk before he sold it.
Step 1, step 2.
And that is where we're going to end part 2.
Oh, Maru, sweep the leg.
Maru just like drops the corpse. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
If you guys like this part, hit that like button. We're gonna let Aaron decide how he wants to handle this very awkward situation.
He's gonna keep twitching, but he's gonna keep doing what he's doing.
As you guys rest, we will rest. Come back for part 3. Let us know in the comments what you think, and let's all make fun of Ty because he thought his wife was gonna get hung. Bye.
Bitch.